Cybernet with me, Lucy Longhurst. Today we flick some tricks on a BMX, talk to a robot, embark on an epic adventure, and find out what these guys are up to. It's simply incredible. It's Cybernet. Welcome to the show. We begin this week by taking a look at the latest installment in the finest football video game series. After success on other consoles, International Superstar Soccer has now arrived on the PS2 and is hoping to be champion once again.
As we approach kickoff, number 10.
So does it win? Well, the answer is yes, but only just. New features include some excellent graphics and realistic player animations. Overall, this is impressive stuff. But the faultless gameplay that made the ISS games FIFA beaters for so many years is sadly not present here. The action seems to judder slightly, and the passing is not as smooth and intuitive as it was in the original PlayStation version. There are several new factors that can affect your strategic play. At set pieces, hitting a button on your controller will let you scan other areas on the pitch for teammates in a better position. This time, all the players have proper names thanks to an official license, and this will please fans. You can try a standard game or enter a scenario mode. This lets you control teams in different match situations, such as having to score a winning penalty in the 89th minute. You can also create your own player. Options such as these are great for those who want more than just match play. The replay option is still a big feature and lets you review some of your finest goal attempts from a multitude of angles. However, you'll find that the commentary is still appalling.
Okay, thanks, Terry. It's been great to have your analysis of the game tonight.
Thanks for having me.
I'm afraid that's all we have time for tonight.
Thanks, boys. Some of the visuals are fantastic, and it's a shame the gameplay seems to have suffered because of it. Nevertheless, ISS is quite enjoyable and is a title that'll take you months to master. Because of its pedigree and long-term appeal, it's still the best, but the FIFA games have never been so close. Time to learn the Lego way as the kings of plastic bricks bring us My World, a range of multimedia designed to entertain and educate. First Steps introduces preschool kids to a colourful world of counting horses, dancing elephants, and musical, if rather odd, pandas.
K is the first letter of cat. A cat doesn't like to wear a hat.
This title seamlessly blends the kind of games that children find fun with an educational slant to make them think while they play. The animal hosts are charming and entertaining, but do occasionally lose the train of thought completely.
Hey, more buckets of paint. Let's paint all the...
You were saying?
Parachutes are going to drop from the ceiling with bricks and letters on them.
These speech problems are uncommon, but when they do occur, it can be very confusing, especially for young children. Overall, though, this is a high-quality multimedia and one of the best examples we've seen on the PC. School Skills is a My World title for slightly older children. So instead of the cute animals, there are characters like this smooth fellow.
Click on me and I'll start telling a tale or two.
The format is almost identical to First Steps, but with more challenging activities based around spelling and maths. The tasks are also very imaginative and will give children a real sense of achievement when they succeed.
You scored! Hooray!
With a bright graphical style and a cheeky sense of humour, the My World titles both succeed in bringing hours of learning fun to your PC. Your children need never get stuck with the alphabet again. This cheeky chap is an entertainer, and he's one of several characters you can hire for work in Theme Park World. Or maybe not. This game has enjoyed success on the PlayStation and PC, and now makes an appearance on the PS2. The basic idea is still the same. Build yourself a safe, clean, exciting and profitable theme park, and you'll be rewarded with gold tickets so you can open other locations. Of course, there's much more to it than that. The first-person perspective lets you wander around your creation. If you feel brave, then you can try out the rides and sideshows that you've built. This is a great idea and makes the whole management side of the game a lot more fun. Hiring staff so that you can research and develop new rides is an important skill and requires some careful planning with your cash. The control system is excellent and the attractions are amusing and well designed. The game also has a nice learning curve, so all ages will enjoy it. Just a word of warning though, don't ride too much or you might upset your stomach. On to a different sort of management title now, and time to take the hot seat in the high-pressure world of soccer coaching with Alex Ferguson's Player Manager 2001. Having arguably the most successful manager in Europe involved with the game will appeal to a lot of people. However, it also means we expect a top-quality product. Thankfully, Player Manager delivers a challenging and engrossing football experience. The front-end menu screens are simply presented and are easy to negotiate. The game has plenty of depth and there are many facts, figures and statistics for the most dedicated fan to study. Everything from transfer dealings to planning your team's training sessions, it's all here. While the 3D representations of the matches don't look spectacular, they're better than in a lot of other games we've seen. Player Manager 2001 only has the English and Scottish leagues, and this might narrow its attraction. But if you want the best management title on the PlayStation, then accept no substitute. Let's have a look at the chart now. Here's our all-format top 10. At 10, a racer that's only got one car, F355 Challenge. If fantasy worlds are your thing, check out Baldur's Gate 2 at 9. For budding photographers everywhere, in at 8, it's Pokemon Snap. In 7th, the freewheeling frenzy that is Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. The web slinger's back, Spider-Man nets number 6. At 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. There's no stopping this balmy border. Welcome to Tokyo. This is Metropolis Street Racer at 4. At 3, another strategic smash from the Command & Conquer series. It's Red Alert 2. At 2, it's Championship Manager Season 2000-2001. But FIFA 2001 takes our coveted number 1 slot. What's the most intelligent life form on Earth? Is it man? Surely not. Is it a dolphin? Don't think so. Or is it a monkey? Can't be. It must be a sheep. Sheep were sent to Earth millions of years ago to observe life on our planet. But being very relaxed and easygoing creatures, they quickly became domesticated by man and have spent the last few thousand years, well, chewing grass and looking dormless. However, alien sheep have landed and want to take Earth's sheep home with them. They also want to abduct humans to be shepherds. Before you think that we at Cybernet are going mad, we should point out that this is the plot of a brand new PlayStation game called Cows. Only kidding, it's called Sheep, of course, and these cuddly creatures are seriously cool dudes. In an effort to understand this game better, we thought we'd take a dip into the world of sheep. So we went to meet Bo Peep, her dog, and some fluffy four-legged friends. Sheep are gentle and affectionate creatures, but they do need to be herded. This is a tricky process, but it's the main idea of the game. Your job is to get as many sheep as you can through 7 hazardous worlds, and you have to persuade and gently coerce them to the level exit whilst keeping as many together as possible. This is a lot more difficult than you think, but with the choice of 4 different shepherds, including the lovely Bo Peep, the task is made more enjoyable. We asked her how she manages to keep control of all those unpredictable animals.
With my stick, most of the time. I'm very handy with my stick.
And with stick action like this, we don't doubt her. You have to get the sheep into your confidence by telling them of the mythical dreamland called Blue Hawaii. If you manage to persuade them, they'll follow you anywhere. In reality, you're delivering the bewildered beast into the hands of the alien sheep, who'll transport them back across space. And you thought being a shepherd was a boring job. We at Cybernet like sheep, both the game and the creatures. In a world of unoriginal storylines, it's refreshing to find one so different. The characters are likeable and amusing, and as for the sheep, well, they're just as stupid as the real things. But they look cute, though. Aww. Get your pens ready, it's competition time. Our prize this week is a PlayStation and Tom and Jerry's in-house trap game. So get ready to join the most famous cartoon double act in history on a wacky adventure around the house in this madcap, frantically fun game. All you have to do to win is call our number and answer this question. What is the name of a baby sheep? Is it A, a puppy, B, a kitten, or C, a lamb? If you think you know, call 09009 113333. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up the question and number again at the end of today's show, so get dialing and good luck. Coming up, we get ready to take on the Timesplitters, fight monsters and giant snakes, and meet an amazing new robot.
Twin Peaks and Millennium in altered states Tuesday from 8 on Sci-Fi.
Want to be 007?
Do you have the time?
Certainly. It's the wrong one. Uh-oh. It's not.
Need more practice?
The 80s Collection.
It's the final countdown.
Time Life brings you an electrifying decade of music on one ultimate collection.
Just another manic Monday.
Get 24 classic hits from 1986 on 2 CDs for the special price of just $7.99. It's the best in pop and is not available in the shops. Then audition other great albums from the 80s with no obligation to buy. To order the best of the 80s for the special price of only $7.99, call 0800 357 657. That's 0800 357 657. Call now.
Yes, that's right. Was your accident in the last 3 years? You were injured as a result of your accident? Okay, then Claims Direct could help you. Let me take down some details.
If you've had an injury at work as the driver or passenger in a car accident or a trip or fall anywhere, then call Claims Direct now, because you could be entitled to compensation. We've helped thousands of people who've been injured in accidents, people just like you, and right from your very first call, our dedicated staff are ready to assist you. Brian Sharp called Claims Direct after his accident. The help he received has meant a lot to him and his family. He was awarded just over £6,000. Remember, we can underwrite the total cost of making your claim. If we're not successful, you don't pay us a penny. So don't delay. If you've been injured, call Claims Direct now to find out if you could be entitled to compensation. Phone Claims Direct free on 0800 44 8847. Remember, this could be the most important call you make today. Call now.
Welcome back to part 2 of Cybernet. GoldenEye has quite rightly been hailed as one of the best console games of all time, and as if to prove it was no fluke, it was followed up by the incredible Perfect Dark. Now, after sampling success on the N64, a handful of designers who worked on those modern classics have formed their own company and produced one of the PlayStation 2's hottest titles. Say hello to the Timesplitters. Cybernet travelled to the headquarters of publishing giant Eidos to meet David Doak, the man responsible for what could well be the PlayStation 2's first smash hit. So what did the power of the PS2 allow him to do?
The main advantage with PlayStation 2 has been that it's a much more powerful machine. With PlayStation 2, we'll be able to make Timesplitters a very fast game with lots happening on screen at once, something which perhaps hasn't been around for a while.
The game's basic premise sees you infiltrating various areas and buildings to snatch a hidden relic. Once pilfered, the Timesplitters teleport into the environment to make your escape that little bit more frantic. Thanks for the demonstration, boys. As a solitary gaming experience, Timesplitters should be immense fun, and there'll be a huge amount of enjoyment to be had avoiding the clutches of your enemies, as Dave knows only too well. Lads, you can stop now. But as you'd probably expect from some of the brains behind GoldenEye, Timesplitters has one distinction that'll have you returning to your console again and again.
Very, very strong multiplayer. I mean, you can sit around there with 3 of your friends and blast away. And people really enjoy playing that. We have a map maker in the game that allows you to make your own levels, which allows people to sort of exercise a bit of the designer in them. Whenever you play a game, everyone's always saying, oh, it would be better if it had been like this, but we've given people the tools to try that themselves.
It's the level editor that should raise Timesplitters to the status of a must-have title. Running around your own personally constructed arenas will give you a sense of satisfaction that's unparalleled in any other game, except if you're doing the real thing. Look out! Honestly, boys and their toys. But we couldn't leave David without quizzing him about his uncanny resemblance to a certain character in GoldenEye. Doesn't this chap look slightly familiar to you?
In GoldenEye, I appear in the second level in the gas plant as Dr. Doak. It was originally a joke within the team because I didn't start off making games. I used to work in science. I did biochemistry research, so I actually have a doctorate in biochemistry. The team thought it was funny, so it stayed in the end.
So rest assured that when Timesplitters arrives, you'll be in for another first-person classic. Trust him, he's a doctor. Ah, the sound of the engine, the smell of the oil, it can only be Formula One. With its exotic locations and grand tradition, it has to be one of the most glamorous sports in the world. And where better to look for information about this thrilling sport than on the internet? This site is an Aladdin's cave of racing car facts and figures that will satisfy even the most curious Formula One fan. It contains a huge amount of information on the history of the Grand Prix, from its humble origins in 1950 to the multi-million-pound venture that it is today. Very few sports have undergone such dramatic changes thanks to developments in technology. One of the most famous tracks in the world has to be Monza in Italy, and here you can see pictures of some spectacular races that have taken place at the circuit. Monza is famous for its steep track banking, which was taken out of use in the late 1960s. However, adventurous fans can still follow a track through the woods and see the famous decaying remains. The track is facing demolition, but a campaign is underway to save it. Another excellent site is Daily F1. Here you can view statistics from all previous races throughout the years, and there are loads of stunning clips to download of the cars in action. Why not try this memory test? Flip the card and remember its colours. Match 2 and they'll disappear. Great fun. The net can satisfy your need for all F1 trivia and information. Don't wait for the green light, get going. Well, BMX, it's cool, but how can you enjoy this incredible sport if you only have as much athletic prowess as a sleeping hippopotamus? With Freestyle BMX on the PlayStation, of course, there are several modes to experiment with, but ProQuest is the main one. Here, you start as an amateur and take on outdoor courses completing various challenges. Also, to encourage your progress, you'll be rewarded with new bikes and kit. There are 10 professional riders to play with too, including world champ Dave Mirra. Of course, there are scores of tricks to learn, but watch out, some are very tough. feel to play? Well, the riders look like they're a bit too big for their bikes, just like real life then. And some of the stunts, animations and physics are unusual, to say the least. If you're finding the action too hard, then help's on hand, as a height meter at the side of the screen tells you just how well you're performing your magic in the air. We did find a bug or two, and with Matt Hoffman's BMX game coming out soon, you might want to wait before getting this. However, Dave Mirra's still a gnarly ride dude. Ouch! These days, robots are everywhere. They're either wandering the streets of London or starring in their own multimedia titles. And if they're not down the park playing with their mates, they're serving drinks behind the bar. But when will we be able to truly interact with these future friends of ours? Well, the future is closer than you think, because now there's a new prototype waiting in the wings, ready to make his grand appearance. And here comes the friendly little fellow now. This mighty midget is the R100 personal robot. Not only can he see and hear the environment around him, but he can recognize people, talk and listen to them, and physically interact with those around his portly plastic body. Developed at NEC's Central Research Laboratory in Japan, the R100 is equipped with 6 ultrasonic sensors to detect objects around him. With 2 cameras for eyes, he can recognize individual members of the household. When called, he appears and asks what he can do for you. Using 3 microphones positioned in his head, he can also hear and will look in the direction of the person who's called him. Play him a tune and he'll even dance to the music. Okay, so he's no Ricky Martin, but don't tell him because he can understand and respond to over 100 spoken phrases and commands. And when answering you, he can convey his feelings using any one of over 300 phrases of his own. But speech isn't the only way he communicates. Multiple LEDs furnish him with a variety of facial expressions. Also, using variations of speed and rhythm, the robot can express feelings like excitement and boredom through movement. So he has character, but is he useful? Well, tell him to switch on your stereo or change the TV channel and he'll happily oblige. Tell him it's too cold or too dark and he'll turn up the heating and switch on the lights. But that's still not all. He'll tell you when you have new emails, and you can use him to record video messages for family and friends. When he finds the right person, he'll then replay the message via the television. So forget about keyboards, buttons and remote controls. By talking, listening and responding, the R100 can communicate with the whole family. So if you've ever wanted your very own R2-D2, it looks like you might not have that long to wait.
Oh, Daddy!
Don't cry, little fellow. Listen up, fantasy fans. We have a treat for you. Check out Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp on DVD.
Once the casket of doom has opened, Mordroc will place the death ring upon Daphne's finger in marriage, and she will be lost forever.
If you're a fan of cartoons and adventure, you'll have a long way to go to see beautiful sequences like these. They've come from the creator of such animated classics as The Rescuers and An American Tale. You assume the role of the brave Dirk the Daring, who has to rescue his beloved Princess Daphne from the clutches of the wizard Mordroc. Mordroc wants to marry Daphne, but can only do this by placing a ring from the casket of doom onto her finger. He really doesn't sound like a nice guy. It is like being in an actual movie, but unfortunately the gameplay is poor. Split-second timing is required for the simplest maneuver, and you really feel that you have no control over Dirk. Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp is full of beautiful new worlds and crazy characters, but it's not very playable. We think the scariest monster is Princess Daphne's mother. Look out, Dirk!
Oh, shut up!
That's all, sci-fi fans, but you can always try our competition to win a console. We'll be back with another action-packed show very soon. Until then, see if you can spot some famous soccer stars with FIFA 2001. They're totally awesome, just like us. Goodbye.